Daniel Kump coming on right now. Get ready for this. I'm excited.
Leaving the green room. Daniel, how are you, my man? Muted.
All right, can you hear me?
Can hear you great, man. How are you?
I like that Gary Vaynerchuk intro there. I will try to keep my swearing to a minimum.
Hey, we're all adults here, and if you got a problem with it, just mute them out for a minute, but it's worth it. Sometimes a good swear word hits the punchline. Never with your wife, though, or your kids, but with your buddies. My
wife was actually here in the room with me. So.
Oh, fantastic! Bring her on. Bring her on whenever you feel appropriate.
No, I think she's conveniently ducked out of the way.
It's just 1,000 people.
It's just thousands of people.
All right, so Daniel, you're excited to hop on because I've seen you be a leader amongst leaders, an educator, somebody who's committed to online, and the time that you have spent mastering, both the same, right? Your craft. And I'm excited for you to share some of those things. So before we get into too much detail, why don't you tell our viewers out there who Daniel is and how we kind of are on the show today, from that point to this point.
Yeah, listen, I mean, just the fact that I'm here is really an honor. So I want to thank you guys because my OSP story, and I'm going to take you guys through the whole thing. I literally want to start you guys back from, literally this point last year up until where we're at right now. And I want to share why I got involved into OSP, and we'll get to that because my OSP story is different than anybody else's. And one of the things that I really want to share with you guys today is just in my story, because just to reference Gary Vaynerchuk, he just says document, 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 and be really good at telling your story. And with the webinars that I've done with Nick Anderson, I got good at sharing my story, and that would be advice tip number one. So value bomb number one is get good at telling your story, whether it be on video, whether it be in story, but preferably on video because video marketing is the way to go. And that's one of the ways that I've been able to have some of the success that I have. I mean, I started, literally with 0 YouTube subscribers, 5, 6, 7 months ago. And now I'm close to 1,000. So you just got to start somewhere. So literally this time last year, it was probably back in January, my wife was in a network marketing company and her cousin had signed her up. And, just to date myself again, so you guys, I want you guys to hear and feel my full story so you understand anybody can do this. It doesn't matter how old you are, where you are, what you're doing. Anybody can do this. So I'm 39 years old now. But before, so, about 15 years ago, I was introduced to network marketing, and it was, I was working at a grocery store at the time. I've been in retail my entire life, retail management mostly, and I don't do that anymore. I just do this now, and I'll get to that. But I was literally working in the receiving area, and I was walking up front and ran into one of my coworkers, and she's like, "Oh, hey, what are you doing tonight?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know, what's up?" She's like, "Oh, want to come to this party?" I was like, "Sure, I'm single. I got nothing going on. Yeah, that's cool. Let's go." Long story short, I go to this party and they're rolling out all these magnetic balls and doing all these strength tests and everything. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then turns out one of them whispers in my ear. She's like, "Hey, you'd be really good at this." I was like, "I don't know, but I'll try that thing over there." And I ended up buying some of the product. A few months later, I got involved, and then I started having lunches and dinners and going to all these conferences. And I met a dude, calm as could be, just really super chill. And he's like, "Oh yeah," I'm like, "I've been doing pretty good. I'm making about $350,000 a month." And I'm like, "You're making what?" So that lit the torch at what I would consider for me an early age at 24. So I dabbled in 3 or 4 different companies over the last 15 years. So last year in January, I got involved with my wife, and everybody creates their list and they start writing down the names of all their friends and family and everything. And that's what I did. And I was like, I'm committed. I'm going for this. We went out, we bought easels, we bought flip charts. I started making these videos about get two, and how you can spider web everything out. You can be this, rock star in your business. And about a month and a half later, I had burnt through my warm market. And like I said, I'm here in Derry, New Hampshire, and this is real life, guys. I was literally right up the road in the mall of New Hampshire and Manchester, New Hampshire, passing out business cards, walking around, trying to support my family, trying to go for this, trying to just say, you know what, I had dabbled in the past, but this time I'm really going to go for it. So it was in about the March, April area when I had started burning through my market, and I was getting into the cold market. So I started watching these videos on YouTube. At first, I started watching a lot of videos with some of the top leaders that were in my specific company. And then I came across this young guy who was making all these videos showing people how to do stuff. This guy named Nick Anderson, which many of you know. If you don't, look him up. And he was showing this. I started watching this video on this really cool thing. I was blown away. I'm like, this is great, called the sales funnel. I'm like, cool. Like, this sounds really cool. And I started watching. I was like, wow, this is great. So me being me, I'm not afraid to get out of shell a little bit. I start emailing him, and then I end up joining him in another affiliate opportunity similar to OSP. I did that for a little while. And then in July, so this is July. So that now this is less than a year ago. He sends me a text message that says, hey, I'm about to get involved with this thing called digital aptitude, which many of you guys know. And hey, you might want to check it out. So I did check that out, and I went through it, and I looked at all the training. I did the dollar trial. I started going through, and I was like, wow, this is where it's at, because I'm starting that transition from, offline marketing, getting into the YouTube and then the social media and the online marketing. And now I'd kind of gotten the sales funnel thing a little bit.
So just to recap, you were working your corporate job at the same time you were doing network marketing at night, and then walking around trying to because you're working your traditional job to pay your bills, and you're trying to work your network marketing businesses in order to make it happen. And so you're doing just walking the streets trying to generate leads. Then you run into Nick Anderson online, and now here we are. Correct? Just trying to.
We're at digital altitude now. We're up with the higher.
I'm a big recapper. I learn in chunks, so I try to recap it for my benefit.
That's good.
So
yeah,
keep going.
Literally, I would back at that time in the springtime. I would literally come home, would have dinner, kiss my wife, and then I would be up in the mall walking around, passing out business cards, trying to do what traditional network marketers would do. But so back to July, I was like, man, I really see the potential in this. And I was sick and tired over the last 15 years of just kind of dipping my toes in the water and not really committing and really going for it. And I stated to you guys earlier, but for me, the day is July 15th, 2016. And that day resonates with me because that was literally the day that my wife and I were sitting downstairs at our dining room table. And we were just, I think we were both kind of frustrated with where we were and, what our opportunities in life were. And obviously we have a lot of challenges with our son, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But, I'll paraphrase that a little bit beforehand so you guys can understand where I'm going. So again, I want to be completely transparent with you guys, and I want you to realize that, again, everybody has a story. I want you guys to get good at your story, okay? So for me, our son his name is Lucas, and there's a couple pictures of him there. I don't know how good you guys can see that. See that there.
I saw him cuddled up on the couch the other day. That was pretty cute.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, he just turned 3 years old in January 29th. He turned 3. But when he was born, for the first 4 months of his life, he was in the NICU because he had an undiagnosed condition. He had some skin issues, some breathing issues, some feeding issues. To this day, he can't crawl, he can't walk, he can't talk. There's a developmental connection somehow that we're still learning about between his brain and his muscle control. And literally, we've done genetic testing. My wife and him and us, we've all had blood drawn, and first rounded, genetics, DNA testing came back with nothing. Then they wanted to send our blood over to some lab over in Germany where some, renowned experts are and whatever. So Now, fast forward 3 years later, it was literally just a few months ago that my wife finally got a call. She got a call from a geneticist, and the geneticist says, "Hey, we finally have an answer as to like what happened." Because, you know, picture this. I mean, for those of you guys that are watching this that have children, you know, imagine going almost 3 years having something wrong with your child and not knowing what it is.
Yeah.
It can create, I can tell you that it can create an immense amount of frustration, but, you know, thank God for, you know, my wife and I, because I think it's also made us a hell of a lot stronger too. And so she, you know, she finally gets a call, and the geneticist says, you know, we finally figured out it's, you know, BCL11B. That's the gene where there's a mutation. Okay. And it's like, okay, cool. Well, now what? And then she starts talking to my wife and telling her a little bit about it, and says, well, as far as documented cases go for this particular gene, you know, for that BCL111, as far as documented cases go, my son is one of 6 in the world. So fast forward that now, you know, now we know something, so that's good. And now we're starting to do the research to, you know, figure out kind of where to go from here. So fast forward to, you know, like I was saying in July, we were sitting, now as you can imagine, you know, over the last few years, you know, there's been bills and stuff like that start to pile up from the hospitals and whatnot. We were sitting downstairs, and she had her bills and I had my bills. And, you know, she said a phrase that stuck with me, you know, and she said the words, "this life." And then when she said that right there turned into my commitment to go all in and stop dipping my toes in the water, and really just to say, you know what, I'm going to go for this. And we had the conversation, and I just said, listen, I need to be up right here where I'm sitting right now, up in this office, sitting here every night. I'm going to kiss my son, put him to bed, and then I'm going to be in here. I'm going to create content. I'm going to literally make videos. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to help people. I'm going to do my thing. And I created a routine for myself based off of that. And then based off of also like working with Nick, watching him, and, you know, finding kind of like somebody that I could latch onto and follow a little bit. And I can tell you that once I made that commitment, and literally everything that I talk about with you guys here is all going to come back to that decision, and making that decision to 100% go for it and commit. Because I can tell you that no matter where you are in life and no matter what you do, if you make that decision and you decide that this is what I'm going to do, nothing is going to stop you. Nothing. And when I first got involved and I launched with DA, I went through all the training and I launched. I mean, I literally took, and again, just so you guys know how this was done, in order for me to really go at it and really go all in, I decided to create my own LLC. I decided to actually make a business. So, you know, this is going to be a learning tip for some of you guys too, because it's also a really good tax write-off. Is, you know, we created DKL Marketing, which stands for Dan, Katie, and Lucas, which is our family. So it has a lot of meaning to it. And so we created our own LLC. And with that LLC, I actually took out a business loan. I used the business loan to go all in into the business, but also have some money to drive traffic. Now, in the very beginning, I started driving traffic with a lot of solo ads, and you know, literally spent thousands of dollars on that. And they really didn't amount to what I thought they would. So if I didn't make that decision, I could have given up. I could have just said, oh my God, I just invested thousands here. I put money into traffic. It's not working.
And a lot of people give up there.
This stuff doesn't work. But you know what? I made the decision. So just like you come to a fork in the road, or you come to like, you know, one of those Jersey barriers, you just go around it and you find another way. So at that point, I got into Facebook advertising. And, you know, I partnered with a couple of folks. And for me, I outsource my Facebook ads. I don't do my own Facebook ads. And I started going into Facebook ads. And that's when things really started to pick up. But, you know, literally, guys, over the last 7 months, so literally since about, I would say, like, August, September, since then, in the last 7 months, being consistent, having the same daily routine, which I'm happy to take you guys through, having the same daily routine and just staying consistent. I'm not a guru. I'm not some like online marketing expert. Like, dude, I haven't been doing this for a freaking year. I haven't even been doing this for a year. Like literally it's been like 7 months. And the reason why I'm on OSP Live right now is because I'm consistent. I'm really freaking consistent. And I made my decision. I went for it. And I'm not going to let anything get in my goddamn way because of this guy right here. Right here. I made that. We don't know. We don't know if we're ever going to get answers. But one thing I can tell you for damn sure. Signal go.
What's that?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
you're good. A little choppy, but otherwise you're 97%
okay.
Good.
One thing we know for damn sure is I'm going to make sure in my lifetime that kid is never going to have to worry about money, ever. And that was my commitment to myself first, then my wife, and then my son. And I can honestly tell you guys in the last 7 months, I've made more money in the last 7 months than I have in the last 15 years in network marketing. So when you commit yourself and you decide and you make that decision, nothing will get in your way. But I'll be honest with you, and I'm gonna throw this out there right now, and I want you guys to hear this because a lot of you guys reach out to me. I get messages, tons and tons of messages daily. Grady, you said you responded to like 100 messages this morning. What I think is amazing is I see so many people, like if you're scrolling through Facebook or either you're on your mobile device and you're scrolling through and you see those like groups like you may want to look at, or if you're on your desktop and you see on the right side those groups, I see so many people that are in every single freaking group. And for me, it's like, Nick Anderson said it best when he said, focus on one thing, get really good at one thing, and then move on to something else. And I see so many people getting caught by the dangling shiny carrot or the shiny diamond. Check out my affiliate offer. Check out my affiliate offer. Check out this. And it's like you end up doing too much. And then you try to spread yourself too thin. And then it doesn't work. And you give up and you quit. And then you curl back in your corner and say, oh, it didn't work for me. But for me, I just stayed consistent. I picked one thing. I got good at it. Then I moved on to something else. And don't get me wrong. I'm always looking at other stuff. But at the core of it, I stayed true to that core. I stayed true to, what I set out to do. And that's gotten me to the point here. Just because of that, because of staying consistent and just finding one thing that I got really good at. And then I expand into other things. So
what you're saying here is your why is extremely important, and it should be. And, that being your determining factor, you also stay hyper-focused and consistent. Your consistency, which I'm sure you're going to talk about in your next little phase here on the show, which is what you do on a daily basis, because everyone else can do these things too, but it takes the effort and the education and the consistency, to get good at sharing your story, which is what it really comes down to. Because as you grow and as you develop, and everyone out there, the same thing applies, as you grow your skill set and your story gets stronger and your education level goes up and more tricks, more skills, and you can help more people, your story just becomes even better. And then it's just going to start. It's a snowball, man. It really is. And it's exciting to see how large your snowball has gotten already. And it's just going to come, like, you've put in the grind, you've put in the work, and now it's going to start. It's already started paying you back, which is great. But I'm telling you, it just gets easier from here, which is weird to say, but it's a lot of work to get there. But once you're there, man, keep learning and keep driving your why and keep getting better at your story. But consistency, people love consistency.
And I think there's something to that, Joel, because as far as being consistent too, there's, everyone says like, you gotta grind, you gotta do all this stuff. And that's like, grinding is part of it, but you can also grind with tact and skill, and what I did is, and maybe some of you guys can take a piece of this too, is, I negotiated with my wife when we agreed that I was going to do this, that I was going to go all in, we blocked it out. And I just said, listen, every night I was going to come home from work. We're going to have our dinner, play with my son, hang out, whatever, put him to bed around 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then I was going to be here. I was going to be working. So, that was what I negotiated with her. So that was my time to grind. And it wasn't just, I didn't wake up in the morning and say, okay, what am I going to do today? Like, I had my list already planned out every single day. So I did it with skill and precision. And if you can, have your agenda laid out for you ahead of time, before I went, this was kind of some of my list that I was going to do today. And I had that list written out last night before I went to bed. So I knew what I wanted to do today. Like, that's working smart, not just trying to like run around and scramble and just kind of figure shit out. So
when you have that conversation with the boss, essentially, and then you're taking a loan out to do the business, it becomes very easy to be incredibly focused. I disagree with myself. I don't mean it becomes easy, but it becomes very. You can become very focused in that word. It's you're like, I gotta defend my family. I gotta defend myself. My word.
And he found an accountability partner, a mentor, somebody to do this and learn this and absorb their skill set too. Was probably a big part of his journey. And I know Nick Anderson's a great guy, and his stuff's really good. He's a great video YouTube marketer. Like, that guy he's also getting pretty good at Facebook. He's pretty
good at a lot of things. We like Nick Anderson around.
But I mean, the fact that you figured it out and other people can as well, and that's really what I want people to take from your story. But your efficiency, your planning really drives your execution. And that's what we say here at OSP a lot is, we got to be more methodical. We got to be more strategic, more planned. And a lot of it's done here, and then it's done in the planning phase, and then the execution's easy. But you got to execute, right? So very cool there. But why don't you share a little bit with, and I don't know, Grady, if this is your TSI entry or intro.
No, go ahead.
If you could share what is part of your daily routine, because I do believe I heard you say that you've done the same thing every day for 7 months in terms of, you probably write your list, then you go through it and you execute it. But I don't know your skills or your tax there, but why don't you share some of that with the people? Because everybody can do this. This doesn't cost money, right? Mm-hmm. Just costs time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm going to kind of give you like a two-part here too. So obviously I make sure that I email my list every single day. And I'm really, for some reason in this whole marketing journey in less than a year, one of the things that I really kind of bonded with, or that I made sure that I got good at, or that I really enjoy, is email marketing. And I make sure that I email my list at least once a day. So that's kind of part of my daily routine. But also sometimes what I'll do, depending on what's going on in our world here, is I'll do what I call like email chunking, where I will sit down, especially like on Sundays and football season, sometimes I'll sit down on the couch and I'll bang out like 3 or 4 emails for the next 3 or 4 days, which will allow me more time when I am actually working on the business to do other things. And I'm going to share with you one quick story here. Earlier, I had mentioned that I outsource my Facebook ads. So I let somebody else run my Facebook ads. Like, I do it. I've dabbled with it. I'm okay with it. I even threw a video on YouTube about just how to make a basic Facebook ad. But I know that when I wanted to use that for DA, OSP, and any other thing, like, I wanted it to just be right from day one, and I wanted to start seeing those results, because I'm also a little impatient, and when I want something, I want it 5 minutes ago. So I outsource it. Now, one of the girls that works with me, her name is Lisa, God bless her. I'm a numbers guy. I'm a total numbers guy. And, being in retail management my entire life, I'm always focused on conversions, percentages, opt-ins, all this other stuff. And every single day, I was looking at how many leads I got. I was looking at my ad sets. I was looking at what the conversions were, like what the prices were, what I'm spending, and whatever. And like 3 weeks ago, Lisa challenged me, and she was like, hey, I tell you what, why don't you let me do my job and not look at the ad sets and not look at your counts, and then focus on other things. And that was hard for me. That was really, really hard for me. because I always want to know those numbers, you know. And
there might be conversations like that at the OSP corporate office.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time, man. So I get it.
so listen, I was like, all right, fine. And she said, just for one day, So now, fast forward 3 weeks, and I haven't checked since. Now, what that's enabled me to do every single day is have more time to write better emails, to create more video content. I can't tell you how many Skype or Zoom video conversations I've done with people on my team. And one of the things that I offer to my folks, if you go up to either, you know, VIP with OSP or Rise and Above in DA, or you go all in with NLS, I'm going to commit 1 hour of my time in a Zoom call with you to help get you 100% ready for traffic. So we'll help get your autoresponder set up. We'll help get your first funnel set up. We'll help get everything all linked together. I'm going to walk you through it. Because if you're going to invest, you know, time in personally in yourself, and obviously it's going to earn me a commission, I'm going to invest my time in you. So I've had more time to do that, not having to focus on some of those other things. So as part of my daily routine, that's something that now recently I've built in. And, you know, it's obviously worked really well.
That's a good tip. That's a very.
I think that's really cool to utilize the other company's commissions as if it's a form of payment, so the user can get to know you. You can educate them, and I'm sure in these other companies as well that have some sort of team leverage, it is also good that you are the one teaching them how you are being successful, kind of like what we're doing here. And that's why it works, because you're out there doing it, and you've gone through these 3 phases of Online Sales Pro that I'm going to talk about. But the fact that you are able to bend time, like you are shifting time to your advantage, to the point where you get to work on what you like about your business, because you can offload and outsource copywriting or email creation if you wanted to. But if that's what you have really taken on and enjoyed, and you chunk out these times, it's fantastic, because you get to become an expert at this area, and you have other experts working on other areas of your business. And that's something that we do here at Online Sales Pro to scale. And the way you're scaling your marketing company, and, you know, the story and the adventure to get here is something that I hope, I just hope that more people out there are listening, taking notes, and can execute these types of things, because the time freedom to work on what you need to work on is the most, you know, it's a multiplier in your business. It really is. It can change real fast.
I want to hit on one very, very important note too for me, and this has probably been one of the things that's also helped me get some of the results that I have, is the personal development piece. And I think so many people out there, they either push past it, they walk around it, they put blinders on and pretend that it's not there. But I got to tell you, I mean, like, people reach out to me all the time, and some people say, they'll send a message saying like, oh, someday when I get to have, you know, be as great as you are, do all this stuff. And like, listen, I'm a normal freaking dude from New Hampshire. Like, I'm nobody special. Like I said, I am consistent. I'm very, very consistent. That's why you guys are watching me live right now. It's just because I'm really damn consistent. But the one thing that I've also been consistent with is developing myself and committing to my own personal development. And if I'm in the car, if I'm walking in a grocery store, whatever, sometimes I'll have my headphones on, but I always have personal development audios going. I'm not a big reader. I should be a big reader, but I suck at reading. I hate reading. I don't read, but I listen, like iTunes and iBooks, chock full. Yeah. Grady's pointing to his,
every penny.
So 2 books, and you guys can write this down, 2 books that have really personally helped me. And no particular order here, but number 1 is Jen Sincero, You Are a Badass. I resonated very, very well with that audiobook, because she tells it in a real way. Like she's having a conversation like you and I are right now. And she's witty, she swears. When you listen to the audiobook, you can hear her sarcasm. And for me, like, I'm sarcastic as a motherfather. So when I just resonated very, very well with that book, but there's so many golden nuggets throughout that book. The other one is Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. And what's important for that, and why that one stuck with me, is because he talks a lot about, in one of the chapters, chapters about living on the edge of your comfort zone. And, you know, so if you guys out there that are watching this that are thinking like, oh my goodness, like money's tight, I don't know if I can buy that next round of traffic, or I don't know if I can invest in this opportunity, or if I don't know, like if you've made that decision, we'll circle back to the beginning. If you have made that decision to go for this, for your family, for yourself, because you want to either live on the beaches of the world or you want to provide for your family, if you have made that decision, you will find ways to make it work. And when I think back to that point in the book about living on the edge of your comfort zone, you have to find a very, very thin balance, like walking on a tightrope across like 2 skyscrapers or something. But you have to be able to balance that and know that, you know, if you've made that decision, like the universe works in weird ways, man. And what you ask for, if you ask precisely enough for it and consistently enough, then you're going to get what you ask for. And for me, you know, one of my affirmations, I'll take you guys, like, you guys want to know what my daily routine is? This is some of my daily routine right here. And I said I want to be transparent in the beginning. I'm going to spell it out for you right now. So my affirmations are this. Every single day I say, I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my beautiful wife, Katie. I am thankful for our amazing son, Lucas. I am thankful for our beautiful home. I am thankful for my digital altitude business and the fact that by the time I'm 40, I'll be earning a minimum of $45,000 a month. I'm thankful that money flows to me effortlessly. I am thankful for all the people I get to help. I am thankful for all of the leads and all of the new affiliates that will flow into my business today. Sometimes I'll say certain parts over and over again. And when I say I'm thankful that money flows to me effortlessly, I don't just say it. I picture it. I picture the lead or the email notification landing in my inbox. I picture the dollar amount in my bank account. I picture the money in my hands. I picture going to the store and not having to look at a freaking price tag. And I'll tell you, be careful what you ask for, because if you are specific enough, if you are on point enough, the universe is going to give you what you want. Because I'll tell you, literally last week, I made over $4,000. This week, I'm already up to almost $1,500 in just NLS alone. So I'm telling you, when you start applying yourself and committing yourself to the same daily process, when you believe in what you do, when you make your decision, when you go for it, nothing will get in your way. Just make the damn decision and make it happen. You can accomplish anything you want. Like, look at me. I'm just a dude hanging out in a room right now with my wife who's smiling over here. But 7 months ago, I was a chump walking around a mall. But I made the decision to go for it. And the only thing that separates me from people that are making it is I'm really freaking consistent. And
you're making people cry, dude. You're just, people are in love with you right now. Like,
I take what I learn, you know, ILT, invest, learn, teach, TSI, transferable sales idea. I take what I learned, I make notes, and then I teach it to other people. And I do that over and over and over and over again. And when I'm done, I do it again. And that is probably the short version of how I got where I am today. So that's essentially like, you know, my daily routine. And
where are you in a year from now and 10 years from now? Since you are a positive affirmation, you see it, you believe it, you speak it into existence. Where's Daniel in a year and 10 years?
Well, one of our goals and one of my goals is to, obviously with our son, some of the mobility is a little tricky. Mm-hmm. And although, you know, we're talking about Cabo San Lucas with NLS and obviously some of the events with DA and stuff like that. But, you know, we also want to be able to travel with our son too. So I think, you know, what I'd like to look at down the road is getting one of those, you know, nice, not a mobile home, but one of the nice RVs, like a big, really nice RV that we can transport him around. And we'll take our 2 dogs, and we have 2 Rottweilers. So we'll take those and travel around and go wherever the hell we want. And one of my other goals is to speak on stage. And I want to be able to literally go anywhere in the world, inspire others, and share my story and be able to help others, no matter what industry, whether it's, you know, NLS, OSP, DA, you know, XYZ Jungle Juice, whatever it is, to be able to, you know, to travel around and be able to just to help people. share my story and be able to, let them feed off my energy and inspire them. And if I can change one person's life, then I'm doing my job. So that's where I want to be. It doesn't matter if that's tomorrow or if that's 10 or 15 years from now.
I see that happening. And when we have a event, you're going to get your opportunity maybe to talk on stage there. So it'll be a smaller one, but it'll be a good start.
Listen, you give me the time, date, and place, and I'll be there, man. Sounds
like it's going to be in October sometime in Tempe area.
We're going to keep speaking it into existence. That's what we've been doing since last
year. It happens. It's the truth. And when I start to see it happening in my mind, it will actually get done, which is fantastic. So, Daniel,
quick feedback on, are you excited about NLS? You mentioned it a few times.
Oh my God. Listen, for those that are watching this, like if you guys don't go all in with NLS right now, I mean, the trip alone, a 7-day all-inclusive trip to Cabo San Lucas for like under $1,000, all-inclusive trip for 2, like, please. But yeah, I mean, the timing right now is, for those of you that can know what gut instinct is and you guys can react and know, I mean, this is pre-launch mode and literally, okay, so here's the funny part. So 2-part, very quick story, because I know we want to get on with other stuff. So one of the reasons why I got into OSP wasn't even for the affiliate offer. It wasn't to market OSP. It was literally for the DA funnel. Like, that's why I joined OSP, because I saw Nick using it, and I'm like, damn, I want that funnel, because I didn't want to use, DA's funnel. I wanted to use that one that Vince and Fraser were on. I was like, man, I got to use that funnel. So I signed up for OSP just to get the funnel. And then what happened was other people would like, oh, are you an OSP? I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, send me your link. Cha-ching. I was like, huh. All right, cool. And then a couple weeks later, oh yeah, send me your link. Cha-ching. It's kind of cool,
It's cool, huh? The cha-ching especially.
So long story short, same thing with NLS. Why I wanted to get involved with NLS is because I wanted to use their autoresponder, because my AWeber list now is up. I just got it up over 9,000. And
whoa, 9,000 in 7 months?
Yeah.
So everyone out there, it's possible to grow a list to 9,000 in 7 months with passion, desire,
and 1,000 YouTube followers.
Consistency, 1,000 YouTube followers.
And I'm sure you're doing Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this guy's a celebrity on Instagram now.
So here's my Instagram thing. Now,
all right, but sorry, one second. Before Instagram, you didn't get in. You got into OSP for the product. You got into NLS for the product. You got into the internet royalty because you wanted to be involved in the product. And then the results, you see them, you feel them, and then you get to experience. Makes the affiliate side a little easier.
Oh, hell yeah.
There you go. DA you got in too because you like the product.
So with Instagram, now, yeah, I have 4 Instagram accounts. Now, one of them is my main account, which is my name, Daniel J. Kump. And I think I just crossed 77,000 followers or something like that. And literally a month ago, it was at 12,000 followers.
7 months ago, 0 Instagram accounts.
July 1st, I had 103 followers.
Ooh.
July 1st. So now I have 4 Instagram accounts. I don't market OSP anywhere. I don't use it on I don't run ads to it. I don't run clicks to it. I don't do anything except for one account on Instagram. And that has sponsored. Yesterday I just hit 60 sponsored affiliates, $2,500. And 85% of all of my sponsored affiliates have come from that one Instagram account.
Wow.
And that is because I am very laser detail focused with the targeting on that one account. Like my main Instagram account is a little more for branding, and I definitely get leads for that, but that goes to DA. But that one very specific Instagram account is basically showing me all the love for OSP.
Love it. We love OSP, and we love when you love OSP. So, but this is huge, man. Like, if you, ladies and gentlemen, I've never not talked for this long. This is just exciting to hear you just telling your story. But like, did everyone get this? Like, get why, get passion, get consistent, get excited, stay involved, make an agreement with your significant other.
Plugged into an accountability partner too, a mentor. Accountability partner.
You guys get in Daniel's ecosystem. Daniel, what's the link where they can connect with you? Or you said you're offering a free like Instagram training coming up. Can we link to that?
Yeah, sure. If you go to learnwithdan.com, again, that's learnwithdan.com, you guys can register for my webinar. So literally over the last few weeks, I've actually put together a 4-week Instagram training course. And what I consider in the last, as long as I've been doing this, talking to you guys about it, probably one of the most comprehensive, detailed training courses that I'm going to do. And it's not just about the hashtags. It's not just about the bio or the photos or the apps or anything like that. I'm literally going to take people across all 4 weeks from the bio, how to structure the bio, what a good bio looks like, what a crappy bio looks like, the link, the call to action in the bio, the sales funnel, Online Sales Pro, how to use that. Now, for me, I specifically use a different type of funnel with that one account that I told you about. It's not your standard capture bridge DSL. It goes a little bit different with Instagram in order to warm up the audience, but obviously I'll share that.
And that's awesome.
And then I'm going to literally take it all the way through the email follow-up with your leads. So, I mean, by the time somebody goes through that course, they're literally going to be able to like put their hands off of their course and just let it do its thing. So, and
that's learnwithdan.com.
Yep. It should take you right to the registration page.
I get paid the big bucks to say the domain. So learnwithdan.com.
Yeah.
Check them out. If you want to connect with Daniel Kump, I'm saying your last name correctly, right?
Yes, sir, you are. Yeah, I mean, obviously you guys can find my link on Online Sales Pro. Just
or add him on Facebook. I tagged him in the thing, and just connect with Daniel. Like, get in his world. Follow him on Facebook. Like what do you
surround yourself with these people?
Yeah. What do rising stars do? They emulate stars that are in the sky already. And Daniel Kump is a star in the sky already. And if you guys want to rise with him, do a lot of stars.
Is that like an innuendo to the rise at the
DA? Not intentional, but what people that want to be some successful, great tip, emulate people that are already successful. And Daniel's probably going to be super modest here and be like, I'm not successful. I'm just a normal dude from New Hampshire. 7 months ago, I was bumbling around the malls. But the reality is, in 7 months, dude's made it happen. He's got an email list of 9,000 people. He's doing training courses. He's got 4 Instagram accounts with almost 100.
He's made more money than the last 15 years of network marketing.
Last 15 years of network marketing. Like, this is a guy you want to get around his world and you want to become friends with him. Don't bombard him with stupid questions about commissions and nonsense, but just say, hey, man, I just want to be in your world. Just want to be in his world.
I'm gonna throw a shout out to Jamie Anthony who kicked ass last week too.
Yeah,
she had a great post. It was probably a month or so ago. She said, and she had a gun symbol to her head. She said, "Don't be an asshole." And I thought that was such a great post because, you know, people ask me questions all the time. I give them advice and then they do nothing with it. You know, so I think that was a great post by her. So to your point, you know. If people want to connect, obviously by all means. But here's my biggest takeaway right here. Okay. And you write this down, tattoo it on your arm, on the inside of your forearm or whatever it is. Number 1, make your decision. Decide that this is what you're going to want to do. Number 2, take action. Drive traffic, follow up, and get paid. That's it. That's the business. There's obviously a lot of other little stuff in between, but take some freaking action. 80-20 rule, man. 80% taking action, 20% personal development and learning new things. But literally, that's it, man. 80%.
Step 1, decide, though.
80% should be taking action, making a video, creating content, sending out an email, following up with the lead, having a conversation. 20% personal development and learning something new. 80-20.
Very cool.
That's my 6,000 cents for today.
Daniel, I hope you get that RV sooner than you even imagine. I hope you take it on tour. You swing through Tucson, Arizona, and we get to go have some dinner or something. I mean,
listen, we're going to share several drinks at some point in time, and it's a small world, so I look forward to it.
Sounds fantastic.
Joel's fun to drink with, too. I think he's funny now. You should wait till you have a little Jameson in his cup. Never mind. Daniel.
Hey, I'm a Scotch guy. That works for me.
This was fantastic. Thank you so much for just being so transparent with our audience, with us, with sharing the people. You're the guy who you are. You're as real as can be, and the talking so freely and openly about your son. Thank you for sharing that with us, but letting us to see inside of you. It's real. You're a real person, and I think that, you know, a lot of people miss this is the word why, I think, was said 50 or 100 times in the time span in which you spoke, because it gave you your purpose for wanting to do it. I mean, myself, I have 2 little children. Joel has 2 little children. Vincent has 2 or 3 children. Kevin, our VP of marketing, has children. I mean, and it's again, it's not all about the children, but it's about, like, sometimes when you're younger, we don't respect ourselves enough because we don't know what we want to do. We like to party. We like to do whatever. We sleep in late. We do whatever. But then all of a sudden, babies come around, and it's like, hold on. I got way new. It's not just me. I can't just screw myself.
It is a mind shift.
It is like, okay, I must work now every single day because it's those people right there. I've got to make sure I can provide for and take care of. And so that's our why, right? But everyone here watching, 80, 100, thousands of replays they're going to watch, find your own why. Like, find that reason when it gets hard and people tell you no and the emails don't get open and you spend thousands on solo ads and no one ups into your funnel.
It's that perfect picture which you've all seen on Facebook where the miner's going, there's a big pocket of diamonds, someone's one sliver away, and he puts his pick away and walks the other way, and that other guy's just digging, and you keep digging, you're gonna find those things. So don't give up. Through the adversity, through the failure. What's that?
Let me just add one more 2 cents here. So, like, when I was young,
this is your show, this is your part.
OSPDK live right now. It's just
what's up? Listen, no, on a serious note, like when I first got introduced to network marketing back when I was in my mid-20s, like, you know, it was great. I was having dinners and lunches with all these big gurus that were, like, you know, kicking ass and just making, like, tons of money. But for me at the time, my why just wasn't strong enough. And I didn't realize that at the time. But now I have life experience. And believe it or not, guys, like, that's a real thing. Like, you own that. You have experience. And now things are a little different, and, you know, my situation is my situation, your situation is your situation, but now I know my why. I understand my why, and it's like nothing's gonna break that. So, and I've said this before, and I've said it on other webinars with Nick and stuff like that, but if you think deep down and long and hard about it, or sometimes it might be in a split second, if your why doesn't make you cry, then go get another why. Seriously. And, you know, that might suck for some, but that's the blunt, honest truth. Like, if your why doesn't make you cry, if you can sit and think about why you want to do this and you don't get choked up, then go find something else or go do something else, because, like, that drives me. And that is the reason why I've hit so, like, you know, I didn't share, like, a lot of this stuff, but, like, I've been frustrated. I've run campaigns and gotten no results, and I've been pissed off. But I keep going. And I'm never going to freaking give up because I made my decision and I know my why. And if you know those things, I'll see you in Cabo. You know what I mean?
and you will see us in Cabo.
Yep. I love it, Daniel. Daniel, thank you so much for sharing this with everybody. You were a fantastic guest. I mean, just
tell your wife she's a great support sitting there. Yeah.
Tell her,
smiling from ear to ear that you're here, man. You've arrived, and we welcome you with open arms.
Yeah, she's amazing. Did you hear? She's just like,
hi. Perfect. For cameo appearance. No, but fantastic, Daniel. Thank you so much. This is great stuff. I mean, make your plan, take action, follow up, and get paid. Ring the cash register, as we call it.
LearnWithDan.com.
LearnWithDan.com.
Check it out.
Check it out. Connect with him. Get in his world. Top people want to share, and people who want to be the top people should want to learn. So, guys, get out there. Daniel's giving, and as you can see, he's just awesome, man. Thank you so much. We should have done this sooner, but we did it today, and it was as good as we could have imagined.
Maybe now we can work on that new DA funnel.
Yeah, maybe work on a DA funnel with you. So,
dude, whenever you're ready, man, you let me know. We'll map it out, we'll hammer it out, and we'll just do it. Okay?
We will plan, and then we will execute.
I will tell you a secret, Dan. If you got a video done, it's a lot easier to get the whole deal done and put in. So
we'll get there. Appreciate you, my man. We'll talk to you soon. If you want to connect with him, learn with Dan, find him in the group. Great support, great mentor, normal guy. Can be you. Thank you, man.
All right, thanks, guys.
Great day, buddy.
Grady, pretty freaking cool, man. I love having guests on. I love hearing the stories. I like consistency in our message about how you can do this, because we're not bringing, anyone that wasn't in your shoes, wherever you're at in your journey, wherever you are at in your journey, we have members that have been there and are there right now and are a little ahead of you and are a little behind you. But the nice part is you get to share all of our experiences. Like, you can learn from our failures.